you teach gratitude? How do you teach gratitude, and how do you teach acts of service for those you're grateful for? We gotta first start off with, what is gratitude? And then move on to what is acts of service. And it goes deep, because gratitude and acts of services is a measurement. So some might deserve, like all may deserve acts of services and gratitude, but not everyone will deserve the same level of it. You know what I mean? So as you get to a point of knowing what gratitude is, and, you know, knowing what acts of service is, how do you measure it yourself? You see what I'm saying? So for instance, we are conditioned to have high gratitude, or higher acts of services, I should say. I'm gonna go with that. We're conditioned to have higher acts of services for those who really don't meet the standard to having it all the time. What do I mean by that? I mean by, like, for instance, when we at work, we get paid a certain number, a certain amount for the job that we do. But often we go above and beyond with it. Yeah, we go above and beyond with it. Now, do we take that same above and beyondness, and do we apply it to the people that we interact with the most, people that we care about, people that we love? You see what I'm saying? Why don't we? Because we don't see them the same way as we see the job. We feel like if we have the job, right, the job will reward us for going above and beyond. That's our mindset. Well, we will be rewarded for going above and beyond. But at the end of the day, they really don't reward us. And they don't even tell us that we're going to be rewarded with it. They don't. You know what I mean? But we put that in our own mind. So I guess one of the keys is, how do we put in our mind that it's rewarding to be grateful and have gratitude and do acts of service for those that we love and care? That's deep right there. How do we put in our mind that it's rewarding? Because we only do things that we want to do, right? We only do things that we want to do. So we want to do things because we feel like it's gratifying to us. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, gratification nowadays, if it comes fast, it is gratifying. But if it doesn't come as fast as I want it, I don't take it as gratifying. You know what I mean? How do we get our mindset to be grateful, or to do acts of service, have gratitude, and at the same time know that those actions of gratitude, or those actions of service is rewarding, but rewarding for you personally? You see what I'm saying? Right. Once you figure that out, you as the father, the parent, the individual, you have to work on it. Okay? And figuring it out and working on it all in the same thing. So let's just say you figured it out for yourself. Now, how do you teach that to the ones that you love? So for instance, you have your parent. How do you teach that? You see what I'm saying? Teach it, so that way it will be applied. Not teach it for knowledge. Maybe that's confusing a little bit, because you can't really make someone do it. So I guess I use a different word. How do you influence someone to do things? So as a parent, how do you influence your children? Even your spouse, even your partners, even your partners, whatever you got. Even those that you just want to show something to. You're a teacher, a coach, maybe a friend. How do you influence someone to do that? You know what I mean? because you can't make anyone do anything, really. But how do you ingrain it into who that person is? You see what I'm saying? Right. So how do you influence someone to do that? How do you ingrain that in them? How about this? How about one of the ways is exposure. Exposure, one of the ways, not the way, exposure. What I mean by exposure? Exposure meaning expose them to the gratitude, expose them to the acts of services, expose them and allow them to be a receiver of it. So that way they know how it feels to receive that. Talk about the feeling when they received it. Talk about the feeling before they received it. Talk about the feeling as they're receiving it. And talk about the feeling after they felt it. You see what I'm saying? Let them know, like, okay, how did that feel? It felt good to receive a gift, right? It felt good to have an act of service. It felt good for someone to do something for you without you asking, right? Right. That's a good feeling, isn't it? You know, and the more things that people do for you, that especially the closer they are to you, and they're doing these things for you, you know, and not expecting anything back. How does that feel? So talk about that feeling. You know, go in depth. You know, how does it feel? You know, different things. You know, you receive a gift, like for instance, Christmas. Okay, you receive something, but you don't give. But the receiving the gift that you really wanted, even if you didn't expect to have this gift, how did that feel? Cool. So when you're receiving, it feels good. How do you think it feels to give that to someone and watch them receive that feeling? You know what I mean? So as a parent, we know how it feels to really do something good for our kids, or we surprise them, right? Give them some extra money. We might give them the gift that they wanted for their birthday, on Christmas, whatever holiday and stuff that you do. You know how you do with your kids. You don't want them fresh kicks. You know, you tell them that you're not going to get it, and bam, you got it for them. And then they see that. You see that feeling that they're receiving, right? We know how that feels, right? It feels good for us. You know, like, it felt good. You know what I mean? Doing that. Even to the point where some people bless others, you know. Been at the grocery store, paid for someone's groceries. You know, they're like, oh, thank you so much. That felt good. So, how do we get them to experience that feeling? You see what I'm saying? Bless you. Alright. So, with that said, what I'm thinking is we have to allow them to do that. Or I don't like using allow really. We have to give them that experience. How do I give them that experience? Okay? Show them what to do and have them do that. So you know what? I'm going to have you do something nice for your brother. Okay? I'm going to have you do something nice for your sister. I'm going to have you do something nice for, mom. I'm going to have you do something nice for dad. And when I say nice, something that mom is going to really appreciate. No matter how small it is. Dad's really going to appreciate. No matter how small it may be. Sis, how my sister I'm gonna do something for my sister that she's really gonna appreciate, no matter how small it is. I'm gonna do something for my brother that I know he's gonna appreciate, I'm gonna do it just to make them feel good, no matter how small it is. So here's another key to this thing is this thing right here. You have to know the people that you're trying to give this experience to. You have to know the people that you are going to affect. Okay, that's a good way of putting it. So if you don't know your sister, you really don't know what to really do for her to really to make her feel good. Same thing for your brother. Same thing for your mother, your father, right? Same thing for your mate, your partner, right? So So, as we in relationships, we like to be surprised. I like to be surprised in relationships in a good way. Good surprises. You know what I mean? I like good surprises. And especially women, they love surprises, right? Especially like, babe, where we going? Surprise me. You're like, dang. Okay. All right, we're going to go here. You see what I'm saying? So surprises. You have to know the individual. That's key. So we'll get back on that, knowing the individual. I'm going to put a pause right there. Gotta go in.